We were talking about Oscar Micheaux and his desire to go back to his roots, say, and really tell a story. When you were this young kid in this insulated, fantastic life, where did that kid get the desire?
When I was a young kid in the segregated South, as I said, it was my duty to be the storyteller. Whenever we would leave church rehearsal, choir rehearsal on Thursdays, we'd stop at my grandma's house. It's a boarding house. There was always activity there. Somebody eating, who's ordered dinner, eating some pig feet or something, beans on the stove. There was always a pot. There was always something going on. There was always a roomer who was in trouble. My grandma was like Annie Oakley. If you didn't pay her rent, she'd come and knock you out. She'd get her money. So we'd stop by my grandmother's house, and she would say, "Okay, tell us what happened. What went on in the church? Who's mad with who?" So it was I told the story. And as I went out, even then as a young black kid, I was blessed with something that, by circumstances, I look back on, and it was a negative thing in one way, in that because I was a bastard child, broken home, I traveled a great deal because my mother was, she worked in white people's houses all over in New York, Hempstead, Garden City, Baltimore, Philadelphia. So wherever she went to get a job, on those weeks or holidays that I was out of school, because I didn't see her much, she had to give me up when I was 9, she would send for me. So I'd get on a Greyhound bus. They put me in my little Boy Scout uniform because my grandmother said military men are always respected. So they dressed me in my little Boy Scout suit and put a tag around me and put me on the back of the Greyhound. I had to travel in segregated side of the bus, and we traveled from Virginia. And of course, whenever we stopped in Richmond or in those places, I couldn't eat it. I had to go around the back. And then we'd get to Baltimore, and suddenly I could go into a cafeteria. My mother would pick me up, and she'd move to New York. So I was going to places, and I'd go to New York, and Hempstead. I went up to Saranac Lake, Lake Placid, places like that where my mother was working with these folks. I was exposed to things that a lot of my friends back in the segregated community we lived never saw. So I would come back and tell stories about strange things that I saw white people do. There was constant, man, you won't believe what this person did or this kid did, how they treat their parents. Man, they said to their mother, I'd come back and tell these stories and have everybody laughing. So I became the storyteller for our family. I ran in the pin relays one year. I was a track athlete, and I remember coming back in the 69th pin relays and telling her the story. But the best film that I have seen in recent years is City of God, a Brazilian film. I think that film is as good as The Godfather. I think that film really is as good as The Godfather. It is the best hood movie ever made. It is the best movie ever made by people of color. And I put that up against Boys in the Hood, all of them. You name it, there's not a film made by people of color who can rival City of God. And that's why my next film is going to be in Brazil. And the reason is, if you remember the jazz musicians of the 20s and 30s, when things got difficult in America, they couldn't get that music, they couldn't find that freedom, they created passion for that music because it was being ignored by the dominant culture. They all took off to where? France, and Europe, Shanghai. I did a documentary on a woman by the name of Valeda Snow, a black woman who people don't even know her here, but she spoke 6 languages fluently, born in Chattanooga, Tennessee, but spent most of her life traveling the Orient. Was the second best trumpet player in the world, according to Louis Armstrong. Incredible woman. And she traveled with all these other great jazz musicians because they were looking for passion. They were looking to be in a place where their art and their creativity meant something to them, and they fed off of it. When they came back, they infused music in America. It wasn't infused here. It was infused where passion was really strong. Well, that's what we have right now in the world. America is not a passionate place. It is a place of greed. It's a place of consumerism. It really isn't passion anymore. As I travel the world, I can tell you right now that if you could define a country by a name, by one word, Brazil would be defined as passion. And I would probably add raw passion. You can feel the passion in Brazil. And when you look at a movie like City of God, you look at Bus 174 documentary, immediately you are taken aback by the passion of the filmmaker, the passion of the actors, the passion of the cinematographer. You can feel it. Well, I don't feel that in black films today. Certainly not in these white films. But in black films, I don't feel it. We have lost that. We're about the money. We're about partying in Southampton and all white. We're about all these things that have nothing to do with the creative element of the soul. And that's where I am. At my age now, it's not about the money anymore. You know, I've made millions. I've done, but I've spent them on my studio. You know, I'm in the bonus round. I'm way beyond where anybody thought I'd be. So right now, when I look at what do I want to leave, what is my legacy, what drives me every morning I get up, it's passion. It's the creative need to find in my work that place where I sit there, I feel it, and I look at the actors, I look at what's going on, and I'm there, and I'm lost in it. Well, I can't find that in America. I can't find it in the actors. I can't find it in the people who want to make film. Everybody wants to make film to impress this town and make a bunch of money. And that's great. There's nothing wrong with making money. City of God has made close to $68 million. It only costs American money about $2 million. So, it's not about the money then. It's about the passion. That film, if you look at the cinematography, you look at the writing, you look at the set design, you look at the costume, you look at the acting, you can't find a flaw in any level of filmmaking in that film. It is innovative, it is powerful, it is heartfelt, and it's about drugs and crack, and you think, well, those things are bad. Yes, they are bad, and this film makes you understand that they're bad. But if you go look at Scarface and all these other cartoons about the drug culture and all that, even Traffic, it can't compare to the passion that's in that film. Well, as a filmmaker, I'm not ready to, I'm still an alpha male. I ain't giving up. I still fight for my food. So I'm going, where do I go? How can I get a hold of that? Brazil, I'm there. Just like the jazz musician. If I must sell everything and move to Brazil and hang out for 2 years, I'm there. I don't, my kids are grown. Dad can do that now. So that's why, to me, Brazil is so important. The Bus 174, which is a documentary, it's powerful documentary. In unique technique. He's created a technique of doing documentaries that I'm certainly going to copy, and others should, where you take a documentary and you tell it like a fictional story almost. I mean, he mounted it like a movie. When you finish, you want to say, starring the bus driver, it's like he mounted it in a way, went, oh, this is beyond documentary. He put you in there. And he tells the story. You know the ending because it's a documentary, and yet he surprises you. Unbelievable documentary. The technique, So, again, 2 films, Brazil.